ジタバタせずにコーヒーでも入れよう。
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's
Good morning.
it going?
It is good.
It is good. Oh shit! I just pulled my earbuds out. God, I am not good. That's what I get for recording a podcast last night till past my bedtime. Now I'm all tired. Everybody good? Everybody happy? Everybody ready for the holidays?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Rich is polishing his figure.
Polishing a Monster X over there.
Sounds dirty. Excuse me while I go polish my Monster X.
Well, next up, I got my Mothra larva.
Hey.
So I guess you can polish a turd.
Yeah.
Keep your Mothra larva out of this. Good morning, Godzilla Man 2000. Thanks for joining.
Good morning.
Hello. If you're on Facebook commenting, like it doesn't tell me who you are. I don't know why. Call Jeff Bezos.
Oh, that's
he doesn't
where
own Facebook. Whoever owns Facebook, that other idiot.
the Facebook user would have to allow StreamYard or Facebook. I forget what it is to like basically link their account. That's why we get that Facebook user.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
So we're gonna talk a little Christmas stuff, but I guess before we do that, it wouldn't be a coffee and kaiju if we didn't talk about new toys we've gotten in the mail. Mike, you were actually not on the last episode, so you know what? You go first.
No, I wasn't. That sucked. I got COVID.
I know.
The morning we were gonna go live, I took a test and it was positive, and that was the end of that. Which sucked.
Yeah, that sucks.
I couldn't talk about -1. So
yeah, well, give your 30-second -1 review.
I loved it. So I'm sure that comes as a shock to people who think I hate everything across the board that's new, which is not fucking true at all. I loved -1. It was really great. I saw it twice, maybe one more time because it's kind of hanging on, isn't it? I just thought it was fantastic. I loved it. I had maybe 1 or 2 minor complaints, but it didn't ruin the movie for me. I'd say it's my favorite Godzilla anything since Tokyo SOS. So that's pretty high praise. I don't know where it's going to fall in my favorites list just yet. It's too new. So we'll have to wait and see. But I loved it. I don't want to go too long talking about it because we got other things to talk about today. So yeah, -1 is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I concur. It's excellent. So yeah, what have you got? I know you got some new stuff, right?
This guy came. Of course, we all got this guy, right? Hold on. He's all tangled up in my cord. Of course.
Oh yeah, he's excellent.
No, this way. There he is.
Yeah.
I love this figure. It's so cool. Move this tag.
Yeah, it's impressive, man. It's like a little X Plus. It's so good.
I think it's the best thing Bandai's done this year.
Yeah, I agree. I would probably, yeah. Well, we're going to do, probably next episode, we'll probably do our top collectibles of the year. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's on a few lists.
And the Godzilla store just dropped a whole bunch of these visual books. So I picked up a whole ton of those last week. They just came yesterday. These things are cool. They're only $10 each. American sellers really mark them up. We got pictures of Satsuma over here.
Nice.
I got this one, Varan, 55 Angulus, 65 Godzilla, Ibra. These are cool if they don't go out of stock too fast. And I'm going to talk about these more next time when I got more of the 4K Blu-rays.
Yeah, I'm enjoying your photos of those.
So I'm going to leave my opinions to myself on these for now. If you follow me, you know how I feel, but that should tell you where these rank on my top purchases of this year. I don't want to, we have some stuff to talk about today, so I won't go any longer about that. I just wanted to show off the book, the DVDs, and I love this guy. He's just so fucking cool.
Yeah, he's great. Hi, David.
Hey, Dave.
Hi, David.
So that was him. He was the Facebook user.
Oh, he was Facebook user.
Yeah.
Facebook user David. Okay, cool. Rich, I think you probably got more stuff than me, so I'll go next real quick. I already did a review on this guy up on my channel. The Super 7 Melty Boy. He's cool. I dig him. Hang on, God, I put Mike on big screen. I don't even do it to myself. God.
There you go.
That's how I am. I'm so giving.
Tis
Yeah,
a season.
man. He's cool. Pleasantly surprised with this guy. I like him. I know I've seen some mixed things, but I'm happy with him all in all. And then I haven't reviewed the Destroyer yet, but maybe I'll be recording that today. I'm not sure. I'm really impressed with him as well. He's pretty awesome. There are a few things like all these Super 7 figures I'm not wild about, but all in all, he's awesome. Once you get him assembled, because man, oh man, did the heat gun get a lot of use on that guy. But yeah, those are the two newest things. So
You gonna go
pretty much it for me. How about you, Rich?
Good morning. Good morning. Mike, first off, I like your backdrop. Now that you got something that, where you got your stuff behind you, so that looks cool.
Thank you.
I like your backdrop. It's beautiful.
It's nice.
Yeah, windows.
Here we've got outside that you can't see because of the light, so it's great. Yeah, so yeah, so I'm at my parents again. So I have the 55 Anguirus and the Godzilla on the way. Actually, I got a box with I think 6 figures total from the showcase coming. So I'm looking forward to getting the Anguirus. Brian, I saw yours last Saturday. And I thought, like definitely that's an eye puller. Really drags you in, it captures your attention. So looking forward to getting that. Well, what I have here, because I was away traveling, for Christmas, I had a box from Bandai sent to my parents because I need a box day, and I actually got a box waiting for me at work on top of other stuff. But anyway, so I've been on this little venture where I've started hunting down Bandai figures that I had sold, and now I'm hunting them down again. So I was able to score a Monster X Bandai tagged in pretty good condition. I was just sitting here giving him a little dust wipe down. I picked up GMK Baragon for a pretty good price. Tags also attached in nice condition. So happy about that. Everybody's favorite, an Exilian. I remember when I sold this, I was like, I'm not going to miss this guy. Like, what a dumb figure. And here we go. Shut up. Nobody asked. My mom. I'm kidding. Don't shut up. But again, the mint condition. When I saw this in mint condition, I was like, wow, nobody really ever played with it because they were like, this is junk. Just put it somewhere out of the sight, out of mind. Because the tag is like practically mint. Literally mint. So nicely done there. I picked up both Martha Larvas from Tokyo SOS, male and female. Boom. Both tagged. And
How can you tell which one's male and which one's female? Did you have to flip them upside down or something, or how's that work?
So, look at the tails. One is curved. This one's curved. And then the male has spots on his head. Where's the camera? Okay.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
This is not good because I'm doing this on this. Yeah, so there's the male has the spots. The female has no spots. Boom.
Huh.
And then, one of the easiest things is just get your Google Translator out and translate the tag. And one says male, one says female.
There you go.
And then the male also has an open mouth. Boom. So really excited to have both of those back. And I remember before I sold any Bandai figures, I was like, I have a lot of worms. So when I opened this box, my dad was like, oh, you got more worms. I'm like, yeah, I'm the worm. It's like Nick Tatapatapatapalus, the worm guy.
Oh, God.
You need some dewormer there.
Yeah. And then the last figure that was in the box that I had was 8-inch 1994 Bandai Magra, however you pronounce it, tagged and antennas attached. Boom. And I will say I now have 2 tagged and attached antennas because why not? I actually, when I posted the other one I got about 2 months ago in GCG, 2 people had messaged and said, oh, they want one. They got to hunt one down. So I sent the link for that one, and neither of them bit after like 3 days. So I was like, fuck it. I'm buying it. So That's how I have 2.
Whoa,
And
Mogera
I've got-
is right. Just
What's that?
respond. Whoa, Mogera is right.
Yeah.
Albert.
Yeah, I'm excited to have 2. For those that saw my box day video on my Instagram reel, unfortunately I got this with Bai, and I added protective packaging, and they did protective half-ass job, and one of the antennas was broke, and it was still hanging on. So fortunately, I was able to perform a quick surgery and get it on perfectly, practically. So I'm happy about that. Anyway, so that's it. What I got here, I have stupid box days coming. I find it when I'm here at my parents' house. I go shopping. Yep, blaming you. Yeah, so that's it. Stay tuned for box days later in the next 2 weeks. Boom.
Morning, Alex. Thanks for tuning in, buddy.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
So,
Alex,
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I still got to get his piece of art that he did for me hung up in my house. He did a really nice piece of Godzilla versus or Mothra versus Godzilla art. Anyway, go on.
David Dopko says Mogera is one of Bandai's best.
Yep.
It's good to see David's getting his. He sent me some pictures yesterday. He's getting his collection unpacked. Looking nice, looking good. Gonna have to do a Cribs episode after he gets it all done. Look forward to box day videos. Don't we all? Don't we all? So what we're all looking forward to is Santa Claus, because I heard he's coming to town. That's the rumor. And depending on your age, Christmases could be very Godzilla-centric or not very Godzilla-centric. When I was a kid, because I'm the old man in this crew, there was not a lot of Godzilla stuff to be had in the 80s growing up. I mean, toy-wise, there was pretty much nothing. You had that Shogun Warrior, which I got for my birthday when I was, I think, 7 or 8. And then there was the Imperial Godzilla that came out in 85, which I got for another birthday. But, I mean, that was kind of it. You were limited to, like, dinosaur toys to use as Godzilla stand-ins or, Legos to build stuff with, stuff like that. But I did want to do, like, a Christmas episode where we can kind of reminisce about Christmas pasts of and, obviously in the comments, if you had a specific really good Christmas gift 1 year when you were younger, or even as an adult, whatever, it doesn't matter. Throw that in the comments and we'll pull it up here and look at it. But I'll start off because, again, I probably have the least amount of stuff to talk about. But most of my Godzilla Christmases would have been either some sort of media, so either like a book or movies. So I do remember one Christmas I did get, I want to say this one Christmas, the same Christmas, I believe I got both of these. I distinctly remember bringing Son of Godzilla to my grandparents on Christmas Day to watch while all the adults were doing their adult things. And I want to say this may have been the first time I had seen Son of Godzilla. I may have caught it on TV a little bit here and there, but so I still have it, my original one. This is not one that I rebought. This is another one that I got from Christmas. Not still there, still original. One didn't rebuy it. And then a different Christmas, I do remember getting this one, which still has a lot of these VHSs do have really awesome box art. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're all cool. I always thought this one was kind of weird. Godzilla looks like I don't know.
Bear.
Look, yeah, it kind of looks like a reptilian bear.
Those Video Treasures boxes are awesome, though.
Yeah, I love this one. And then this, of course, is just like a fantastic all around poster and picture. Yeah, David, not much in the 70s either. Just I mean, growing up as monster kids back in the day, we didn't get a lot. And then I remember I was older, obviously, when I got these, but I do remember getting this one, Critical History and Filmography of Toho's Godzilla series by David Collott, which actually is a great book. If you've never read it, I highly recommend it. I remember getting this. And I think I opened this one on Christmas Eve because we used to open a gift in the evening. And I opened this, and I remember staying up in bed and reading this till like 2 or 3 in the morning. So it's still a good one. I also got the Stuart Galbraith.
That one.
This one,
That one.
yeah. This was like a Bible back in the day, like in the pre-internet era. This one actually has a reissue where he covers up until the end of the Millennium series, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't have that one.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah, I think it covers. I know it. Well, does this one cover the Heisei movies? This one covers. Yes, yeah. So his reissue, I believe, covers the Millennium movies, but I only have the OG one. And then recently for Christmases, I usually get 1 or 2 of John LeMay's books. I love his books. Rich, this is one I was telling you about that has all the unmade movies.
Okay, gotcha.
There's 2 volumes of this. It's really good. If you're interested in like the history of unmade Godzilla movies, highly recommend this one. This one is also good. I got 2 Christmases ago, I think, which has all the different unmade King Kong movies throughout history, including some Godzilla ones, including the unmade sequel to King Kong versus Godzilla, which would have been really interesting. And the cool thing about this one is, if you remember those old Crestwood House books, it's got the same style of those books, and you know what I mean? How? If you ever
look at that! That's cool.
Yeah. He did it just like those ones that you would check out back in the day at the library. It's got that exact same thing. It even has, I want to say, like there's like, where's it at? Yeah, I thought there was. Yeah, there's like little things that make you remember. It's got like little like a library card thing, and it's pretty cool. And then this one I got last year. Highly recommend this book by Norman England, Behind the Kaiju Curtain. It's really good. We'll be referring back to this one later when we talk about Ken Satsuma, because there's a great Ken Satsuma story in this book. But yeah, man, for Christmases for me, it was slim pickings. VHS cover art looks amazing. I agree, man. The VHS cover art, generally speaking, for a lot of the Godzilla stuff was always pretty rad.
I gotta pull my tapes out of storage. I have all of those too.
You know what's cool about the tapes is you can just stick them behind your figures, and they just kind of add to your display. That's how I have all mine displayed.
Brian, do you have a favorite VHS box? Just a personal favorite.
So I have that Godzilla versus Mothra one that I actually had to rebuy because I lost it. It's like a screenshot of the movie. I know Brandon Shields has it, and I was trying to get it from him, but I found it on eBay for pretty cheap. So that one I liked a lot, and I love the Godzilla Raids Again one. I love the Gigan and Mechagodzilla, the New World tapes. Both those New World tapes have cool covers. The Gigan one and the Mechagodzilla one are both pretty awesome. Yeah. Let's see. Oh man, Never Return, that Godzilla versus Smug Monster from Vietnam Buster. Yep. Godzilla Man 2000. I'm asking some of my family members for Godzilla VHS tapes. Yeah. Yep. I remember. At the point that the VHS tapes were coming out, I was like old. I was buying the stuff. I was probably out of my parents' house by that point. Rich, you want to go next?
All right. So I don't have anything that I had gotten for Christmas here. But racking my brain, I must have been probably, what was it, 80, 89 or 88? When did the original 84 Imperial come out? Wasn't that like...
Probably 85.
Probably around 85, 86-ish.
The Imperial came out 85-ish. So, all right. So I'm thinking, so I probably didn't get it until like 88, and I must have been like 5 years old. So that was one of my first Christmas gifts, along with the 6-inch version, the rubbery one. So I had both of them. They were both in a box together. I remember getting that. VHS movies came in dribs and drabs. I think I got Monster Zero for Christmas one year. Yeah, I definitely did. I got Monster Zero. I don't remember which, who distributed it, but it had like a really crazy, not crazy, weak, I guess, drawing of, it looked like the 62 Godzilla and Ghidorah, just on the cover. I don't know if Rodan was on or not. I have to look when I get home. But I got that for Christmas one year. I know I had Godzilla versus Megalon, but I'm pretty sure I got that just as a gift, or maybe for like Easter or something. I don't remember entirely.
Was this the
No,
No?
it was like it came out in probably the late 80s.
I think he's
Okay.
talking about the Scimitar, the old
That's
1990 VHS.
Yeah, that's this one. This
Well,
is
the
the
what-
Scimitar.
Scimitar did Monster Zero, Hedorah, and Revenge in 1990. I don't even think they were licensed. I
Oh, interesting.
think that's what Rich is talking about.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a very plain Jane art cover. You know, it looked like it was done on the cheap. You know, basically.
Yeah, that's definitely Scimitar.
Yeah, you'll have to forgive. You guys hear any of the background noise? My dad's working on getting the basement finished. So then, I think I went like a long period without getting anything. It was, again, like Mike had said, it was just far and few between finding Godzilla stuff, especially in the early 90s. So I knew I got like a bunch of the Treadmaster stuff for Christmas one year. Unfortunately, I sold all that, kind of kicking myself in the butt for that now. But collector's problems.
Not to interrupt you, Rich, but was this it?
Got to bring Mike up on the screen. Yes, that one.
There we go.
That's it.
It's so crazy how many different VHS versions of the Godzilla movies were floating around out there at any given time.
Yep.
It was like the Wild West of kaiju movies. It was just there were so many versions.
Well, that and I remember going to the, clearly like David had mentioned, a Blockbuster, or I usually went to a mom and pop video rental store, and I would always beeline right for the sci-fi section to see what Godzilla movies they had, because that was how I got exposed and learning what movies existed. But I remember vividly, you mentioned Godzilla Raids Again. I saw that once in a video rental store. I'm like, what movie is this? And it was Godzilla and Anguirus fighting, on the cover. But yeah, so that was cool memories, just seeing those box arts. Anyways, moving on to 1998 Christmas, I got from Santa all 12 of the original Godzilla Island 6-inch figures. So that was awesome. And, as I got older, which was actually not that long, because I knew how my dad got them. Ordered them from Club Kaiju because we lived in Jersey. So Club Kaiju was not that far anyways. But having gotten G-Fan, getting the ad, and, I was like, hey, here, Dad, here's this ad right here with this phone number you might want to call with these figures. And so I got all 12 of those for Christmas. Again, unfortunately, had sold all those some years ago. Kind of in the process of reacquiring a couple of them. But we'll see. And then, let's see. So it was 98. I don't know. Now I got to rack my brain really hard. I don't know what else I got for Christmas Godzilla-wise since then. It's probably something that I'm not thinking of. It's just that stuff sticks out, because when I was a kid. Because then moving into the late 90s and early 2000s, I started buying all my own stuff from going to G-Con, New York City, 97 to 98. But yeah, so I'll leave it at that for my nostalgia trip for Christmas stuff. Boom. Thank you.
I was waiting for the applause to die down. All right, Mr. Mike, what about you?
Okay. Do we got a while, guys? Because I could take a while with this. So
just do some highlights.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some highlights. So I was a little bit like both of you guys. A lot of it was VHS in the 80s. I would always get the VHS stuff, the video treasures. Anything that came out on VHS, I'd get for Christmas. But I think my first toy would have been this. I might as well take it down.
Holy
stupid earphones. I always wanted the King Ghidorah. They were hard to get in the 80s, obviously. We didn't know where to get this stuff. But one day, maybe I was 8, opened up a box. Out came this guy.
That's the fragile wing King Ghidorah, correct?
And there's a reason why I'm not taking the wings out of the box, obviously, because they break. I think my parents got this at Forbidden Planet in New York City. They just had they had to get lucky. We didn't know where to get this stuff. And so I opened this guy up and I put the wings in. Maybe I had him 24 hours before my father walked past it. My dad, rest in peace, snagged his slipper on the wing, knocked the thing over, and broke off a wing.
Yep.
So, yeah. Obviously, this isn't the same one, but I'll get back to this one, a little bit later. So, I got to spend Christmas Day listening to my mother scream at my dad for breaking my toy. That was fun. She fixed it, but then wouldn't let me look at it for years because she was afraid it would break again. So, but here he is. This is Fragile Wing, Great Monster Series Ghidorah. I was a spoiled brat.
Living next to New York City, so close to New York City, though, you probably had access to so much more stuff than.
Well, here we go, because it really exploded because my parents knew about Pony Toy Go Round in Fort Lee in New Jersey. I was 12 when they found out about that. So the next few Christmases, I would just get all this Bandai stuff from them. I can't show everything. I don't even have everything over here. I'll just show a couple of things. I got the big Great Monster Series Godzilla in 1991, the reissue of that from 88. In 92, I had discovered all the Bullmark figures thanks to, it's just the cover. I don't know where the actual issue is.
I have that somewhere. The cover of that magazine is so good. But yeah, I have that issue somewhere.
Because here, it's just the cover. I don't know where the rest of the magazine went to.
But
it showed all the Bullmarks, and I wanted those so badly. But that was when Bandai re-released like 10 of them. And I got all of them for Christmas in 92. Obviously, I don't really need them anymore because I got these guys. 93, I have a few things that I got in 93 over here. I got Biollante, the exact same one I got when I was a kid.
Yep, nice.
I was a kid. I was 14, so not really a kid.
Nah.
Still has the, let me see if I can aim this right, the Pony Toy Go Round sticker right there.
That's cool.
$45.50, probably the cheapest you ever would have gotten it. Got this Mothra.
Nice.
Yep. And just like Brian, I also did get Stuart Galbraith's book. And I remember reading this when I was home from school just over and over and over again. I've really worn it out a lot more than I think your book is. Pages are discolored, but I read this thing cover to cover. I learned about so many new books with this. I knew so many movies I had never heard before with this book. Never seen before, I should say. 94, I got my first CD player. I don't know what took my mom so long to buy us one because she just did not want one in the house. But once I got one, got all the different Godzilla CDs, all the different, still have them.
That's cool.
This is the one that's got all the sound effects.
Yeah.
Gigan was the first one I got. My sister gave it to me on Christmas Eve. Sorry about the glare. Mothra, King Ghidorah, Son of Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters, Biollante, and Mechagodzilla.
So question, do you actually have a CD player now to play any of them?
I got one in my car.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the 4K player I have also plays CDs.
We'll play them. Yeah.
Yes. So also I have all this stuff on an iPod, an old iPod, but it still works. So I can still listen to it. 1994, I got these because my uncle had done a favor for some Japanese businessmen. They were into soccer, so he bought them a whole bunch of soccer stuff. And they said, what can we do for you? He said, I don't know, but my nephew is into Godzilla. If I give you a list of stuff, can you pick stuff up for him? That's where all these came from. And hold on just a sec. I had to reach over. Get it. Also, that's when I got Mogera. No tag. I have the tag, but I don't want to reattach it because I'm afraid of doing something to the antenna.
Yeah.
But this is my original from 1994, so I've had this one almost 30 years, and it still looked good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Happy to have this guy. And this book I got in 94. It was apparently recalled because I had pictures of Prophecies of Nostradamus, which is a banned Toho film.
And so they recalled the book. Wow.
Apparently, there's pictures of it, so apparently they recalled it. Not for the nudity. This book has nudity in it, which is like We call it for the wrong thing, perhaps, but whatever.
Godzilla's not wearing pants.
Yeah, he's not wearing pants. That's really about it, because I have so much more stuff I could mention, because my mom still bought me stuff for Christmas even when I was old enough to buy it myself, so I get all the Millennium stuff from her. Usually I would be with her when we pick it up, and it would just get put away because but these are all the things I had handy that I can grab. But we're going to fast forward for one last thing. In 2013-ish, Tim Crane, hi Tim, I know you're probably not listening, but hi Tim, he sold his Godzilla collection, everything.
Sure did.
And I knew he had a great monster series, Ghidorah, but I wasn't going to ask about it because it was the year we got married, money was tight, and I'm like, oh well, there's my chance, but I can't have everything. And then Christmas morning, 2013, my wife gave me a present. Out came the Ghidorah.
Nice. That's awesome.
So this is a figure that has the distinction of I got it twice in 2 different Christmases in my lifetime.
Cool. That's awesome.
And the wings are never going on it.
No.
Never, ever going on it, which kind of sucks for display, but, what are you going to do? So yeah, I would say this is probably the best Christmas present I ever received, and I got it twice.
Awesome.
So
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, sure.
That's about
Mike.
it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but I don't need to bore everybody.
Mike, just get some yellow construction paper and make some Ghidorah wings and put them on. Boom.
Yeah.
There we go. It would probably last longer.
Anybody getting any Christmas Godzilla stuff? See, with the Godzilla store being so easily, available now, the U.S. Godzilla store, I actually am getting some Christmas Godzilla goodies this year. I've asked my wife for, I just send her links to things. Like, this is cool. So I think I'm getting a couple of sweatshirts or T-shirts or something. I don't remember exactly what. I accidentally sent this lady in my contacts list at work 2 Godzilla sweatshirts that I found, and I was like, "Hey, sweetie, I would really love these for Christmas." And she replied back, she's like, "I don't think you meant to send this to me," because the beginning of her email address was almost exactly the same as my wife's, and I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry. Unless you want to buy me some Godzilla stuff for Christmas." So, Big Ken, what's Big Ken saying? Transformers and Star Wars toys are the gold standards. Yeah, and Masters of the Universe.
For
if
me,
you're
it
of
was
a certain age.
For me, it was Ninja Turtles. Before it got Godzilla crazy, it was the Ninja Turtles. That was like several Christmases in a row.
Yeah, we did the podcast last night, and I had Dutch was on, and one of his all-time best Christmases he was telling us was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers centric. So, but that would have been,
93, 94.
Yeah, he's a solid 10 years younger than me, so that would have been, out of my thing.
Yeah, for me, once Pony Toy Go Round showed up, that was it. That's all I got because they got everything in, and my mom wasn't going to spend money on something that wasn't Godzilla if Godzilla was the priority. So Ninja Turtles was done once Pony Toys came along, and that was like multiple Christmases of just that stuff. Because then they closed, and then we had to find elsewhere, and then the toys went from being $15 a pop to $25. So it was sticker shock on that. I mean, it's still cheap compared to today.
Now it is, yeah. Joey Palinkas, 2015, holding my 3-week-old daughter. Got myself the Heisei Godzilla Millennium films. Watched through a couple of those DVDs Christmas night. That's a good memory. You should do that again this Christmas. Let's see. What do we got? Godzilla Man 2000. My mom got me a few items from the Godzilla store this year, including the white anniversary shirt. Yeah, I think I wanted the anniversary shirt. If it's in black, I may have asked for it because I just can't do white shirts, man. I'll wear it once and I'll spill sauce on it or something. Like, white shirts and me just don't go.
I'm still
Mr.
waiting.
Fresh Final. Why no post in a while? What are you talking about? Mr. Fresh Final be posting all the time.
Well, I don't know unless it's a video. I've been kind of busy these past couple of weeks. But if you're not following me on the gram and where else do I post? But yeah, I've been posting, just not all in the same place.
Man,
the videos are coming. I've got videos out the ass lined up to do, so they're coming. They are coming.
Oh, there you go. It came in black, so I probably did get it. All right, so. I hope everybody has a really good Christmas. I hope you get at least a couple of cool Godzilla related items.
Does a a puppet count for buying me stuff?
Yeah.
Technically, I could just say Billy's buying all the stuff for me that I got.
Yeah. You should write labels out for all of them.
Yeah, I should wrap all my stuff up. Really.
Yeah.
How is that guy making money?
But he was just Saw X, so no, it was funny because he disappeared for about a week. They finally found out that he went to go film the new movie. He came out, and then I guess he's contracted to do Saw 11 that comes out next year. So he's getting paid.
Yeah.
I told him he's got to earn his keep. So he must have contacted the studio and be like, "Yo, we need to make a new movie because I'm going to get kicked out with my bike." But anyway,
I need to buy some Godzilla stuff. So, on an unrelated holiday note and on a sadder note, last Saturday the news came out that Kenpachiro Satsuma had passed away, and that was quite a blow. And I feel like it was pretty unexpected. I mean, there was no word out that he was ill or anything like that. So that's a bummer. He was a good dude. I feel like, in the comments, especially if you have any memories of him, but I reached out on various social media things and I asked people if they had pictures or stories or anything they wanted to share about the guy to please, send them our way and we'll go through them. But before we do that, obviously all of us have met him on at least a few occasions. My first memory of meeting him was with Rich. And that was at Chiller in 2014. And there it is right there when I met him. And he was just a great guy. He was just a larger than life character. And he was one of those guys that you just kind of wanted to hang around. Even when you weren't talking to him. Like I enjoyed being in the room watching him interact with his fans. He was just, he loved his fans. He loved being, around them. He was just a super happy, fun guy to be around. This is also from that same Chiller. So yeah, man, he was just a great guy. And then obviously at Monster Mania, me, Mike, and Rich, and Christine, and a whole bunch of Jess, and a whole bunch of us were there for that. And my first memory of that day was wearing that Smog Monster shirt here that Nev designed. And man, he freaking loved this shirt. He kept on going, Smoggle! Smoggle! And he just loved it. And I remember I sent a picture I sent to Nev, and he was like, "Oh, I wish I had one to send. I wish I had a shirt left to send to him." And he would have definitely worn it had he had one to send to him. And then, of course, that weekend, that night, actually, we all went out to dinner with him, and we had drinks, and we just had a great time. Here's the three of us with him at the hibachi place we went to.
That was such a great night.
Such a good night. And he was used to drinking I think they would always drink Bud Light or whatever. So it was a BYOB restaurant, so I brought a whole bunch of these Golden Monkeys, which if you know anything about beer, Golden Monkey beer is notoriously strong. It's like 9.5% alcohol, so it's like almost up there with wine as far as alcohol content. And he knocked one of those back, and we had a good time. Every time I don't know if you remember, every time the chef would make the flames shoot up, we would scream out Nakano, because Nakano was the guy who did the special effects back in the 70s movies. That would always be the crazy pyrotechnics. And then again, at G-Fest 2018, I ran into him. This was in the dealer's room, but I had run into him the day before randomly. He was getting off the elevator, and he gave me a giant hug. He remembered who I was, which just shows you the kind of guy, that he was. That he would remember me from, a dinner 2 years prior to that. And then my favorite picture of me with him is this one. It was taken by Jessica Etchels. I did not know she was taking it. I was leaving for the morning. This is the morning after the dinner that we had at Monster Mania. This is Sunday morning. And I was heading out, and I just wanted to poke my head in there and say goodbye to him and wish him a good trip home. And I just love this picture because it's a not posed picture, and it just shows you the kind of guy he is. Like, he's just genuinely a good guy who's just, saying goodbye. And he's just was a good dude, and it's a bummer. It's a bummer. I'm so glad that I had a chance to to meet him. He was just a really, really, really good guy. So. And I do there are a ton of comments here, and we will get to them, I promise. But I want to let Mike and Rich go. So, Mike, do you have any interesting, or,
Well, I got to meet him all the way back at the second G Fest, back when it was G Con. We ran into him in the lobby of the Radisson before the show even started. He was there with Nakajima.
Mm-hmm.
And Guy Tucker, all three of them now gone. But me and my sister were able to sit with them for probably a good 15, 20 minutes and just talk to him, ask him questions. And Guy was very nice to translate for us. And we just sat there. I don't think a lot of people walking around knew who they were at that point, because the show was so new and they had never been to the US before. So it was nice just to sit there and ask them questions about, I asked him, were you Gaigan in Godzilla vs. Megalon? I wasn't sure about that. And he's like, yeah, I was. I asked Nakajima, were you Gyrus and Ultraman? He's like, yeah, I was him too. And I had no idea of any of that stuff. So it was nice that I got to go back all that far with him. And it had been 8 months since he played Godzilla and Destroyer. So he was still young. And Nakajima was still in good health too. And it was just, I'll treasure that memory. I know I have a picture somewhere I gave you, Brian, of that.
Oh yeah, this is from
that's from Monster Mania.
Monster
too.
Mania, right? Yeah,
that's from 2015, I think. Or is it 16?
No, this is 16. This 16. Is the one where
Yep. He didn't go to the first one.
Yeah. This is Monster Mania as well.
Yep, that's Monster Mania.
2016. He was just a good dude.
He was really nice.
He loved his fans. You know what I mean? That's
cool.
You got him to sign a hetero. That's pretty awesome.
And I always hear that these guys are just shocked how much they're loved over here. It's not the same as in Japan.
I agree.
Here's the Godzilla he signed.
Awesome.
G-Fest 2014, and here is the Hedra he signed. The Gallery Marmot. And now that I have these both together, I really regret I never had him sign a Gigan.
Yeah, I have him. I have a couple of Godzilla 95s. That he signed. I have the G-Fest one like you have, and then I have the giant blue and red one. I got him to sign as well.
I also had him sign at G-Con, the second one. I had him sign this with Nakajima.
Nice. That's cool. That's a great picture.
And, of course, the inside of Ed Gazacheski's book is signed by both of them, too.
Oh, nice.
I mean, signatures are nice, but it's nice to have actually met them. And had dinner with them, and they were such great people. It's just sad they're both gone. I mean, Nakajima was sick, and he was a lot older. I was really shocked when we heard that Satsuma was gone. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that at all, and you're right. We are lucky that and we are really lucky when you think about it. Like, to have dinner with them. And like, to sit with them.
Brian,
the way that we sat
with dinner, it wasn't just like we were around a table and he was there.
No, I mean he was
with him.
Yeah, I mean he's right there with us, and we talked to him that entire night. And I mean, obviously there's a language barrier, but he made it work, and we made it work. And this night specifically was one of the most fun nights, and it was also fun because it was sort of spur of the moment. I was actually taking a nap in the room. And Christine called my cell phone, and she was like, "Get your butt down here. We're going to go out to dinner with the Godzillas." And I was like, "Give me 5 minutes." You know what I mean? So
I dragged myself to that show with my back having been thrown out the night before.
Yeah, we shared a room.
I wanted to be there. Yeah, I dragged myself there, and I was in so much pain, but it was so worth it.
Yeah,
do not regret going there at all.
Oh, absolutely,
amazing.
Absolutely. How about you, Rich? I know you sent me
yeah.
Well, hang on, where's young Rich? This one.
Yeah. So that one, and again, just please don't mind the background sound. I'm trying to keep myself muted as much as possible. So that was 1997, G-Con, New York City, Hotel New Yorker. I didn't know about this convention until my buddy, who I was friends with as a kid, David Quigley, and his dad behind him. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to the Godzilla convention." I'm like, "Wait, the what? The what?" And it was literally like probably a week or so before they asked me that it was happening. So I went with them to Manhattan. Again, I was living in Jersey at the time, and we went, and Nakajima and Satsuma were there, and I don't think at the time I had to have been 14, and I just couldn't really grasp what I was doing, like who I was with. It just never really settled in that I was meeting the suit actors, and especially considering that Satsuma was only in the suit 3 years ago, 2 years ago,
Yeah,
give or
2
take.
years.
95,
considering for 95 when they might have filmed the movie. Yeah, so that came out in December of 95. So literally 2 years after, or not even 2 years after.
Would have been 2 years after if it's 97.
Yeah. So really awesome. I remember taking that photo. I remember, literally remember that. There's another photo I have somewhere where I took a photo with them again at that convention. And then it wasn't until Chiller where all three Godzilla suit actors were that I had seen them, Satsuma and Nakajima, again since 97. And it was just magical. I remember walking into the room feeling like a kid all over again. I remember walking up to Nakajima's table, and I had to get pushed up to his table because I was literally freezing. Like I froze, and I was shaking with like just pure excitement. Like I'm seeing my childhood hero again, now as an adult, and I have so much more appreciation for him, at the time. And then I've lost count. I think I saw Satsuma 5 or 6 times at multiple conventions in G-Fest. And like Brian and Mike, like you said, I can't echo that enough. You'd walk into the room and he was just happy to see everybody that was there to see him. He made you feel like that you were the only person in the room with him. Made you feel special. And it was literally, I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about it now. It was just magical, like to be there with our heroes.
Yep.
It was always great whenever you'd show them a toy or something to sign, they would always get so excited. Like to see the version of their character. Like, and I'm sure they have no idea how many different toys of these characters are even out there. So every time you show them something different, they'd be like, "Oh," because it would be like so cool for them.
Yep. That's an awesome photo. Me and Mr. James Hartman. James and I, we would talk about that glowy Desu Goji that we both have in our right hands. Left hand. I don't know whatever direction I'm looking at now. I'm an idiot. But the glowy one they both glow, but the orange and white and green one of the harder to find Desu Gojis, and we both have one, and it was awesome because we got both of those Desu Gojis signed. So, pop quiz: how many Desu Gojis are in this photo? If your answer is not 5, you're wrong because there's 5 because Satsuma makes it 5. But just really good time. And Mike, you had mentioned it also that the suit actors or any of the actors, they don't get put on the pedestal in Japan like they do when they come to America. And I would always, and I still think that I would hope that they appreciate what they bring and brought to what we enjoy so much with this fandom. And that the excitement, that's why we were so excited to see them. And it kind of makes me bummed out that they don't get that recognition in Japan, where, at a convention or something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do, and we just never really seen it. I
feel like it was starting because they had done a book on Nakajima a few years back in Japan before he passed. I don't know if they ever did something like that for Satsuma, though. It might have been like maybe it was too recent. But
yeah.
Woke up last Saturday morning, and I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, you were headed to my house.
Yeah, I was getting ready. We got up, grabbed a phone, started packing. I saw that, and I guess I wasn't entirely surprised because I had a suspicion, because having talked with a couple people, one person rather, that he's kind of been MIA, from Facebook for quite some time, and I was like, I hope like the unfortunate didn't happen, and unfortunately, it was the inevitable. But I hope you rest in peace. And
Yeah.
it's just a drag.
I remember
it's just a drag. So
I was laying in bed Saturday. I picked up my phone, started scrolling through it, and I was just audibly, oh no. It's like you don't want to wake up to that.
Nope.
Yeah, I agree. It sucks.
And now we got to pray that Kitagawa stays healthy.
Man.
Nobody
in the bubble wrap.
Surgery.
But last weekend I was talking to my wife, and I'm like, because she's like, I heard your guy died. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I dunk on the '90s films sometimes because that's just how I am. But I'm like, I truly love those movies. She's like, I know you do. I'm like, I was a teenager, but I still feel like I grew up with them. And even though Nakajima is like my childhood Godzilla, Satsuma's was like just as important to me. Like he all through high school, like that was the Godzilla I was watching as the new films came out. So like I cried over the Destroyer when he died. Like him and Nakajima were just as important. Like again, I may dunk on the Heisei films for various reasons, but his Godzilla though, it's still fantastic. It always will be.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
So like
Brian,
I said, I reached. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Rich.
Sorry, just last thing. When I got to your house and my mom called, and yeah, she said, sorry about your
puppet man. Yeah,
passing.
But it came from the heart. Yeah. She doesn't know the proper terminology.
It's okay.
Man, please use the proper terminology.
Yeah. There you go.
So like I said, on the socials, I put out, feelers if anybody wanted to send pictures or anything. So we got some pretty good. I love the pictures of the as the years pass, like Big Ken Bockelman sent that one, which is, G-Fest 96 and G-Fest 2019. And it's so great.
Satsuma, my gosh, he's awesome.
Satsuma in that first picture is funny, dude.
Look at that mustache.
Yeah, look how much hair Ken had. And then Jordan also. I want to say he sent me one. Do I have it somewhere? Let me see if I can find it. And then I had some good write-ups. Christine Chapin said Fandom Fest 2016 in Kentucky. Not my first time meeting Satsuma, but my most memorable. The convention happened right around my birthday, and I was able to have a birthday party with the Godzilla suit actors, which in and of itself is insane. Nakajima, Satsuma, Kitagawa, and Yoshida. Thanks to Dell for setting that up. Satsuma loved my Biollante cake and very enthusiastically sang happy birthday to me. It was a dream come true to have all my favorite Godzilla, along with all the Godzillas, at my birthday. He had the most infectious laugh, and I will always remember him giving the thumbs up, saying, good, good, good. So that's a great story. And that tells you like how great, he sang happy birthday. You know what I mean? That's just awesome. And then her dad, this is Christine's dad, Lee, who was also at that same Fandom Fest. Even though we couldn't speak the same language, we understood each other and became best buds over that weekend with lots of laughs. He left a lasting impression on me with his positive energy and attitude. Jessica Etchels, who obviously got to know him really well as someone who handled a lot of his appearances and things like that. Had a good story. And also at Fandom Fest in Kentucky. It seems like Fandom Fest in Kentucky was the place to be. One of the vendors was selling katanas, so I decided I needed to buy one. Satsuma saw it and was excited and started giving me lessons. Just when a huge circle formed around us, everyone started gathering and watched for a while, so we ended it before security came over, and right before we ended it, we bowed to each other, and he handed me back my sword and said, #1 American student. From that day forward, I called him Sensei. He became a mentor to me and many others through the years. He was the living embodiment of what Godzilla stood for. We also used to say he was a samurai trapped in the wrong century. During one of his panels, he said, I can't afford to appear weak or sick because Godzilla is always strong, so I must always be strong. Satsuma-san had a larger-than-life personality. He'd want us to celebrate him, so let's all raise a glass together and kumpai our lost friend. Which I do think from meeting him, too, like he definitely had that whole, like, I am Godzilla sort of mentality and demeanor. Clark Robertson on the Godzilla Collectors Group sent this one in. I met Kenpachiro Satsuma at G-Fest in 2018. He was the first Godzilla suit actor I ever got to meet. I was so happy I got a chance to meet him, which is really nice. Norman England. Well, actually, hang on. David Dopko sent me this great photo that he took of him. David's a great photographer. And then he sent along that great shot there. And another great shot there. David says, I've rarely seen someone who truly lived life to its fullest. Satsuma-san absolutely did. He loved life, Godzilla, and his fans. He truly was the perfect ambassador for Godzilla. I feel grateful to have spent time with him in the U.S. and in Japan. So that's pretty rad. Tim Bean, who obviously runs, what's his Tim Bean's company? Now I'm going to...
Celebrity Icons?
Yes. Obviously spent time with Satsuma, and he writes, please, everyone, remember that Satsuma-san thought of himself as actually being Godzilla, at least in our eyes. He would not want us to focus on him being gone because Godzilla can never die. He would want us to focus on the thought that Satsuma-san, like Godzilla, will live forever in our thoughts and hearts. So now this is a funny story because this falls back onto the how famous they are here versus how famous they are in Japan. So Tim writes, with that in mind, I'm going to share one of my favorite stories I've heard tell. Right after the Godzilla Hotel opened, Satsuma-san decided he was going to go check it out. He wanted to go up to the Godzilla head and see it up close, but a security guard stopped him. Satsuma-san tried to explain to him that he played Godzilla and he wanted to see the head up close. The security guard responded with something like, sure you were. Satsuma-san told him that he played Godzilla, and in fact, the head on top of the hotel was his Godzilla. Satsuma-san never told us whether he was ever allowed up, but Satsuma-san, like Godzilla, was a force of nature, and I like to think he eventually got to see the head up close. The play of the suit actors, never recognized for the huge part they played in their movies. So, again, like you said, I think the love they got here in the States was kind of different than what they were used to in Japan. I don't think they were anywhere near on the level of celebrity in Japan that they were here, and I think that's why they loved coming here so much.
Maybe it was just taken for granted in Japan,
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but it just seems like it's a different culture over there, and maybe they're just not as, I don't know. I mean, Japan, I don't know. The Japanese fans get pretty passionate about the things that they're passionate about. So maybe in the last few years it's changed a bit. But and then I talked to Norman England, and I do want to read something from his book because he's got a great story. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's pretty long, but it just kind of sums up just the character that he was. And these are some great shots that Norman took. I mean, this one, he's a pretty younger man in that one, it appears. Same with that one. This is Norman and him at Satsuma's dojo, which is what the thing is about. So this talks about when he's going to interview Satsuma and Nakajima, and his first interview is with Satsuma. So Satsuma requested that we meet at his dojo. As much as I'm looking forward to meeting the men who climbed into the Godzilla suit, I'm looking forward to setting foot in a real martial arts dojo. Stepping off the bus, I crane my neck about. I'm on the lookout for a building large enough to house a room filled with stern-looking men in white kikogi, or gi in the West, grinding out karate chops before a row of floor-to-ceiling mirrors, like in the Karate Kid. But there's nothing remotely resembling this here. We're on the side of the road next to a bridge with a shallow river trickling beneath. The only building I can see are off in the distance. Then a weird, wobbly structure across the highway comes into view. A shanty of mismatched wood beams, corroded aluminum sheets, and a blue tarp carelessly tossed over the top. The place is so frail, it appears that it looks as if something innocuous as the backfire from one of the cars whizzing by will cause it to tumble to the ground. To my surprise, Satsuma emerges from this architectural nightmare. He's waving wildly and has a big grin on his face. Nabuko and I shoot across the street, extending an oversized Frankenstein-like hand. Satsuma bids us welcome to his private dojo. The inside is as peculiar as the outside. Blankets take the place of a lawn in an open yard are items of dubious origin, including one of those curved mirrors found on Japanese roadsides to help motorists see around tight bends. In the center of it all, a tall wood pole pokes up from the ground. I pound my bare fists against it, Satsuma boasts, builds stamina. From here, he leads us to a hut off to the right. Inside, a fire smolders in the recess area, surrounded by fraying tatami mats. Despite my initial apprehension, the interview turns out to be a blast. Satsuma is accommodating and forthcoming. Best of all he wants to talk is about Godzilla. Godzilla has had a profound effect on my life, he starts. I'm proud of having played him, and I enjoy talking about the experience. I ask him what the most challenging part of portraying Godzilla was. People think it's dealing with the weight of the suit. It's not. It's about emoting. This is difficult because Godzilla's face is unchanging. Instead, one must feel with every inch of one's body. Still, just moving the Godzilla suit is a task. For this reason, instead of making the suit match my movements, I made my movements match the suit. It must look as if I don't understand because Satsuma instantly takes to his feet. He hunches his shoulders and assumes a fierce crouch. Rolling his head, he lets out a deep roar. Shooting out his hands, he claws the empty air. This is the Satsuma Godzilla, he shouts with pride. His movements are so precise and done with such conviction that I actually see the Godzilla suit around him. By being Godzilla, my mental prowess has increased, he explains with eyes transfixed. Small things no longer bother me. Some have played Godzilla and stopped halfway. Others have only made it through a single film. They have no claim to say they played Godzilla. It takes at least 5 films to master the monster. Although this meeting rates high on my list of weird encounters, and while I could spend the entire day listening to whatever comes out of his mouth, it's nearing 2 p.m., the time we're scheduled to meet Nakajima. So, again, I highly recommend this book. It's a really good book. It's full of cool stories like that. That's a great story that just sums up like what a character I think he was. And it's
funny you read the part about like how he posed as Godzilla, and you could see the suit around him.
You could see it. Yeah,
somebody recently posted a screenshot of Nakajima, Satsuma, and Kitagawa from the cutting Godzilla down to size, bringing Godzilla down to size special feature, and just the way they were standing, just the way Nakajima was doing that, Satsuma was doing that, and Kitagawa was bending over, you could see their Godzillas. You could absolutely, just in their poses, these older men who played Godzilla, just the way they're posing their bodies, you could tell. Like, this is Satsuma's Godzilla's hands. This is how he posed as the 90s Godzilla. This is how Nakajima did Godzilla's hands in the 70s. They all had a style, even the way they walked. You can see that even when they got older, when they would do the poses, you could see it. You absolutely could see their Godzillas just in their personal body language. It was amazing.
So I'm going to try to get through some of these comments because there's a freaking ton. Godzilla Man 2000, they made our childhood awesome. I was an adult, but I agree. It made me feel like a young child again watching those movies. So that's what they're all about. Christine, he was too young. I agree with that too. May he rest in peace. Yes, Santa Dad. Let's see. Japan's Legends. That's the name of Tim's.
So I don't know where I got that one from. I apologize.
Yeah.
Celebrity Icons is what Jim Serenella runs.
Yes.
Okay, so I wasn't 100% off base completely. So.
Dude, definitely. I mean, like I said, pick this book up. I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon still. Otherwise, you may be able to get it directly from Norman. I don't know. It's so worth reading. It's just full of, like, if you were going to move to Japan and be a photographer and cover these movies, like the stuff he gets to do in this book would be like a dream. Some of the things he gets to do and see and stuff like that.
It's still on Amazon, just so you know.
Yeah, it's definitely a great book. So on that note, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I think I have to get ready for Christmas dinner tomorrow night at my house because I'm cooking. But you know what? Everybody should try to watch at least one 90s Godzilla movie, or maybe Godzilla: The Return of Godzilla, or Godzilla '85. During your little Christmas break, raise up a golden monkey for Satsuma. He enjoyed that golden monkey, I like to think.
Yeah.
Everybody have a really good Christmas. And
Merry
we'll be
everybody.
Yeah, and the plan is to be back here in a couple of weeks, and I think we're gonna do our top 3 or maybe 5. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Collectibles of the year. Maybe we'll throw it out there in some of the groups too, and we can do like a group, like the overall group top 3, and then our own individual top 3s. Whatever, we'll figure it out. You guys got anything you want to add before I?
If you're not, stay tuned on both or all 3 of our socials for updates on the show in Godzilla Collectors Group on Facebook. And Brian, what do you got coming up for your channel? You're basically.
I'm going to be doing this Destroya review here. That should be out probably shortly after Christmas. I'm probably going to work on it today or tomorrow. But yeah, see, this is how you can tell who's been doing this longer and who hasn't. Because I was just going to be like, "All right, goodbye, everybody," and not like plug a single thing. I'm so bad. I'm so bad at it.
I was setting you up.
I know Christina's watching. I'm just going to tempt her some more.
But yes, you can follow me at Safubi Sit Down on YouTube, and on I am Safubi Samurai on Instagram. Rich is obviously Rich. He's Mr. Fresh Final Reviews. He's a man who needs no introduction. If you're not in the Godzilla Collectors Group, come join the Godzilla Collectors Group because it's the best of all the collectors groups. Not just Godzilla, all of them. Car collecting, Transformers collecting, you name it. Nothing's better than our group.
Paper towels.
Paper towel collecting. Yep. Toenail clipping collecting. It's better than all of them.
Any collecting, whatever it is.
Any collecting. On that happy and disgusting note, everybody have a really good Christmas, and we will see you all in a few weeks. Have a good one.
Bam. See you next year.
Coffee? I like coffee.